Hi there, this is Sean. I'm going to show you here in a tutorial how to use a telepractice tool, in particular in this case Zoom, to use an interactive website with students and show them the website and allow them to take control of the website. Interactive websites have a wealth of context and obviously interactivity where students can use descriptive language or narrative language or work to understand cause and effect in the context of curriculum topics. There's just so much out there for you to do. I'm not into making perfect videos, particularly right now. I'm kind of here in my home, uh, just having finished a not bought at Dunkin' Donuts coffee because I'm social distancing. So it is what it is, and I just want to give people information in order for you to have some resources and tools and comfort and to be able to get back to work in general. So as I said, I'm using Zoom here, and there are a number of different platforms that can be used for telepractice, and this is just one of them. I'm not going to get into HIPAA matters here. You can find more information about how to get started and being HIPAA compliant. Zoom has a HIPAA compliant tier that you can use, and also the procedures you put in place are what make you HIPAA compliant, such as the way that you share passwords with students who are going to participate and so on. The reason you're seeing a teddy bear here that's a little bit bizarre is this you could consider Teddy. And Teddy is in the next room, and I have sent him a Zoom invitation, and he has clicked through to it, and now we're live, and we're teleconferencing. So part of the teleconference is that you can talk back and forth, and of course a lot of language can be shared that way, and storytelling. But when you look at telepractice platforms, you want to consider the ability to screen share. All right, so here I am in Zoom, and we've got the menu bar down the bottom. When you tap share, it's going to give us some options. I could share my window, which is the browser window, or I could share my entire desktop. I'm going to go ahead and do this just to share the browser window to make it a little bit cleaner. Notice here that there's a little checkbox for sharing the computer sound if that's important. In this case, it's not. So I'm going to share that, okay? Which means now our view has changed. So we see me, we see Teddy, we see the my browser window, and that's what Teddy can see. Okay, so right now Teddy can see it. Teddy can't do anything about it. But this is Draw a Stickman, which is a great little interactive website, and I'm going to give you in the post some other options for interactive websites. In this case, I love Draw a Stickman episode 1 and episode 2, where you draw and your character is presented with some problems to solve. And it has about 6 or 7 little interactions that go with it. Okay, so it starts with a clear direction, draw a stickman. So I'm here and I'm in control of the mouse. Teddy is seeing what I'm doing. Okay, and I'm just going to draw the stickman and then say done. Gee, where is the stickman? I wonder what he's going to do next. Oh, he's walking. So you see the context for verbs. The stickman encounters a box, but it's locked. Okay, adversatives. But he can't open the box because it's locked. Causals. You can ask questions. You can model any kind of language structure here. And ultimately, we're forming a story. Okay. Now, the piece that you also should know about is that we can give Teddy control of the screen. Okay. And here in Zoom, when I go down to the menu bar over here, we've got remote control. Okay. When we tap on that, it says give mouse or keyboard control to and the device that is being used to conference with you, in which case my iPad in this case. If you had students, you'd see their devices. You'd be able to choose who it is if there's multiple students, like in a group, to do that. But I'm not going to actually do that right now because I'm not going to go in the room and manipulate the iPad with a teddy bear. Okay, but if you gave that to Teddy, he could then take this and do a key for you. I'm drawing an old-fashioned key. You can get into descriptions about what keys are used for. Do you have your own keys yet? Get into narratives like that. And once the character opens the box, a balloon and a present, I guess, comes out. What do you think that is? And he's got a problem of how to get to it. And you continue um, trying to solve his problems. When we draw a balloon, what will happen? He will float up. So it's a narrative. It's all of these complex language structures, complex sentences that you can formulate and scaffold. And this is just one example of what you can do with an interactive website. And there's lots of interactive websites that are available. As I mentioned, I'll put some of them in the post. Once you have given the student control, you can easily take it back, okay, through that same remote control button. So particularly if they're not following the expectations is why you might also take it back. So thank you for this. I hope it would be helpful for you as just a quick overview of what you can do with materials that are already out there. In upcoming posts, I'm going to be talking about other examples that are same but different from this, and how you can use what's on the web in a telepractice activity. Thanks very much. Take care, everyone, and stay safe.